Hi, this is Cycle 1, Week 13, the Introduction to Great Artists. The next 6 weeks we will be discovering great artists, and we are going to try to imitate what they have done in their great works. We're not trying to create masterpieces by doing this. We're just kind of exploring what they did and what they used and how they worked. So we're going to just kind of introduce with that. Tin whistle is done. Yay. So the first artist is Giotto di Giotto. And we have 3 facts about each of these great artists, and we will have that will just be because I'd rather have your students remember 3 things than listen to a lot of stuff and not remember anything. So this way you can have 3 facts and they can go home and they can tell their dad or someone that what they learned and who they learned about. There is a video right underneath the guy's name. It's on YouTube. It's Artie and Darty or Marty or something. These are really cute. We used these last year. They're anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes long, and they just kind of explain the life of the artist without having to do it yourself. And it's cute, and it's informational enough for 6th graders, and it is cute enough for pre-K. So I would highly recommend this for every class, and it just takes talking out of it for you. If you don't get a chance to show it, please send it home with your parents because it is really good. So our facts are going to be that he was born in Italy, and he would just kind of draw pictures as a young child. He was a traveling artist, a traveling artist discovered him and taught him how to make paint and paintbrushes. This is a good fact that we'll get into for the activity, just a side note. And then number 3, he was known for painting people who appeared 3-dimensional. With those 3 facts, we have 3 works of art that these artists were known for. These are going to be reused next time we see Cycle 1, so please put them back into your blue or red folder and put a paper clip on them. Jeremiah's yelling at me across the table. And put the paper clip and the sticky note back on them. So at the bottom of every picture, I do have who it's by, if it does get confused with other ones, but I have who it's by and I have the name of the picture, so you can just see what are the similarities, what are the differences between what he drew. Giotto was very big on drawing biblical pictures. That's what you're going to see in pretty much all of these: the Resurrection, the Sermon on the Mount, Garden at Yosemite, and the Crucifixion. You're going to notice that these pictures are kind of muted. They're not really bright, but he does draw those 3-dimensional characters. He kind of seems like they're coming out at you rather than be a very flat picture. So just kind of look at those for a little bit. This whole thing should take you about 12, 14 minutes. Try not to get really over too much because I think everyone's going to want to do the craft. So what we're doing for the craft is we're going to be egg painting, it's called. So we're going to try and remember that artists didn't have like tempera paint. That's the paint that we use. The washable paint is tempera paint. Artists didn't have that back then. They had to make their paints. They had to create them. They had to make brushes. I mean, it's just, everything was just more work. And so we're just going to kind of recreate that tempera paint didn't always exist, and they had to use what they had on hand. And so that's what we're going to do, sort of. The directions say to give each child a piece of chalk and try and break it up with a rock. That's just not going to happen. So I'm going to let each of you take a piece of chalk and just, maybe you can example that. I think that would be the best way, and just kind of be like, kind of just chipping away at it and just show that it's not really easy to do. Even though this is what they had to do, it's not easy to do. You're just trying to show them that. But what I have done is I have 7 colors pre-blended for you, and at the beginning of the CC day, I am going to give you guys some Dixie cups filled with each of them and then you will use them and mix them in your class. But I have 6 bags of colors. So, and then the other thing that you are going to have, I will get you, is you need egg yolks. And if life is really good that morning, I will separate the egg yolks for you. If it's not, I'm just going to give you the eggs, and you're just going to need a mom to do that. You don't need the whites, so just get rid of those. I will probably buy the cheapest eggs I can, so don't even save the whites. It's not worth it. And then the directions say to put 2 egg yolks with 4 teaspoons of water. I think you're going to need at least 6 egg yolks, but I will do the math and I will text you guys that day or the day before about how many egg yolks you need with how much water. But then what you're going to do is, it says to pour half a teaspoon of this egg yolk water mixture into a Dixie cup, and then put a 1/4 cup of this chalk in and let a kid mix it up. Okay, so here is what I did that, and it seemed really watery to me. And the way that I knew it was watery, I'm going to show you, is I put it on the bottom and I kind of painted, oh, where am I? I kind of painted right there. And see how that's thicker? That's what I wanted. See how it's kind of sticking? That's what you want. Instead of it being so watery that it doesn't even stick to the side, it falls off. And so that consistency for me was about half a teaspoon of egg yolk mixture to about half a teaspoon of chalk mixture. So that is the consistency that you're looking for. I think kids can kind of find it, and then you're just going to have 6 colors, and they're going to share them, and then they're going to paint this snowflake. And if they really don't want to do that, they can just flip it over and paint whatever design they want, but I think some direction will be good. Put a name label on that. Use your whites at the end if they need them. Please remind kids not to ingest this, not to try and eat it. It technically is non-toxic, so it's okay if they do, but it wouldn't be advised. Wash out your brushes when you're done. Make sure they're dry. And if you need any more whites, let us know. We can get you guys some. But if you're good, that's great. And I think that's it. Good luck.